Hey everybody, it's Francis here. Wanted to let you know that this is the last couple of days that you have to sign up for the Patreon at the $3 and up level to be considered for the giveaway of the Soviet pins that I have put out and posted and put all over the place. So if you want a chance to win that, or if you want a chance to be in any of our monthly giveaways, just sign up for the Patreon. $3 or more gets you automatically entered. Go to patreon.com/hellofowaydodie or check the link down in the show notes.
Glory, glory, what a hell of a way to die. Glory, glory, what a hell of a way to die. Glory, glory, what a hell of a way to die. He ain't gonna jump no more. Zoom, zoom, zoom.
Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of What a Hell of a Way to Dad. It is spooky scary. It is Halloween episode with Jack.
Yeah,
live inside of his guitar house.
That's
that
right.
He has here. The house.
I'm a hell of a dad.
Yeah, you are one hell of a dad.
Thank you.
Yeah,
This is just an hour of positive affirmations. My kids will never tell me this, so just like fill me up, man. I need as much as I can get.
You know, this is podcasting is what's going to solve the male loneliness problem right here.
Is it? Okay, good. Well, hang on. I got to listen to Joe Rogan for 8 hours really fast. I'll be right back.
So, Jack, I wanted to record this episode with you because I wanted to talk Halloween. Nate and I have kind of talked Halloween a little bit, but he and I both like not as into it as a lot of people. And you are the owner of a 12-foot tall Home Depot skeleton. So
That's right.
You know, we kind of at this point for this holiday want to talk to you. I wanted to defer to you on this because I want to get an understanding of what you do for Halloween and what your kids do, because I don't know what the kids do anymore. I am in fact traveling on business for Halloween this year. So
Whoa.
Yeah, I know.
Sacrilege.
I got to go to Tennessee of all friggin' places, and then Tennessee and Mississippi.
It's a pretty scary place. Generally, that's pretty freaky.
Yeah, I mean, the thing I told, because I'm traveling for business and I'm traveling with like 5 or 6 other people. I said, look, it's good that I'm going because I am like culturally Missourian and I have a lot of Southern Missouri to me. So like I can survive the South. You guys don't worry. We'll find the Cracker Barrels. We'll avoid all the Confederate flags. We'll be fine. I can move us around Mississippi,
okay.
I think. Yeah.
You can code switch into Tennessee and Mississippi.
Hey, y'all.
Hey,
Real
girl.
Simple. Hey, y'all. I am definitely a code switcher, always have been, because I grew up in St. Louis. I had a lot of Southern Missouri family, and I also grew up in a very mixed income neighborhood. So a lot of black people and Hispanic people and a lot of different. So I was always kind of back and forth around whoever I am. I would code switch up. I'm sure that I can put on some sort of Southern Missouri affectation back on. We'll see. Or maybe I'm going to get run out of town. I'm not sure which one yet.
My understanding of code switching just generally is that people who do it well, I generally have like higher EQ, just like better like emotional awareness or emotional intelligence of their surroundings, and the ability to truly code switch and kind of integrate yourself into like what you're perceiving around you. Some people might perceive it as being like, reductive or kind of caricaturized, sure. But there's something about being able to like, when in Rome, do as the Romans do. There's something about like being able to truly integrate yourself into a place and notice the differences and do the extra emotional labor to meet people where they are, rather than just coming in like a blunt edge, pair of scissors. I don't know. I think it's a great skill to have. Yeah,
I've never thought of, like, I've heard that argument. I've never thought of it that way. It is simply, it's if I go to some place that is a Spanish speaking country, I'm going to try to learn some Spanish to get by. And that's not me trying to be rude. That's me trying to integrate myself, as you said, in some way. I have no ego about myself, and I have no problem changing something of me to make somebody else a little bit more comfortable in, a 5, 10, 15-minute interaction. So,
totally. I think it's a great,
Thank you.
It's a great perspective. Yeah. You're traveling well.
If I'm going to be intelligent somewhere, I guess it should be emotional, because it ain't anywhere else, but that's all right.
It's the most important intelligence.
Yeah,
by the way, have you seen on the map, my daughter was just doing state capitals for her 6th grade geography component of her history class. Have you seen there's like, if you draw a stripe down, like a vertical stripe down the center of the U.S. with Minnesota and Wisconsin at the top going all the way down to Louisiana, it looks like a chef and then
Yes.
Tennessee is like the plate, and Kentucky is the fried chicken on the plate.
Yes.
It's amazing.
Yes,
I don't know how I made it this long in life without seeing it, but I'll never not think of Tennessee as the plate now. It's amazing.
Yeah, that's the thing. When you live in the middle states, you get really defensive about them, and then you have to find little goofy shit like this to be like, I mean,
I see.
California's nice, but did you know that we have a chef in the middle of our country?
Oh, you
cooking
guys are
chicken?
clinging to this.
Clinging to it. Why do you think we built an arch in St. Louis? Do you think that there was anything about the city skyline in St. Louis that was like noticeable until we put a giant fuck off arch onto it? Absolutely not.
Oh my God, I just coast-splained your culture to you.
Yeah.
I'm such a classic elitist out here on the West Coast, trying to explain chef to someone
Yeah.
where you live.
Yeah, it'd be like if you tried to explain the world's largest ball of twine to me. Like,
Totally.
I've seen 3 of them in person. So, like, where are you even coming from here?
Seen it. I pray to it. We go there every Sunday.
Oh, but brother, there's 4 of them. There's 4 world's
that's
largest
right. I've
balls
heard
of
you talk
twine.
about that, actually. Yeah.
You gotta, yeah, see, exactly. That's what you East Coasters don't understand. You West Coasters don't get. On the other sides of the mountains, you don't get this pure, this pure culture of an old man collecting twine for 50 years.
I mean, look, we're all looking for a reason to put ourselves on the map, and sometimes it's just literally a ball of twine.
Sometimes you just collect shit and just put it in a pile and say, look, I have the largest pile of these things. And then somebody will write a book about you.
So this is what surprises me, though, that you're not a Halloween guy, because I've heard you on multiple occasions with me personally, and also in other episodes of this show, talking about show caves and like roadside attractions. I mean, isn't Halloween just the ultimate roadside attraction? The whole thing, it's just invented fun. I'm surprised that you're not a Halloween guy.
And I want to be clear, I'm not anti-Halloween in any way.
But you're not running
it's-
toward it.
Exactly. The thing about Halloween is that things are very cold and wet, and we're getting into that. Like, I hate winter. I hate winter so much. It's cold. I don't like it, but I don't want to move any further south because I also hate summer, and summer is unbearable enough here in St. Louis. So Halloween has always been that thing that I enjoy watching other people enjoy it, but I don't know. I think like when I go to a museum or I go to a show cave or I go to some weird guy's collection, that my favorite museum is a person who said, I've been collecting these for 30 years. Do you want to come look at my things? Absolutely. I will pay $5 to look at your junk. 100%. And that is, I don't know, there's more, I guess, longevity to that. Maybe there's a little bit more, it's just weird and different. And Halloween is this thing that you do for like a week to a month. I know a lot of people really get into it, at the start of the holiday, but then it's gone. And it's always kind of the same thing. It's tombstones, it's witches, it's, the same movies over and over and over again. And again, that's fine for other people. That's just not what brings me in.
I get it. And there is like a schlep element of Halloween in that it's one particular day. So you're almost being compelled to Halloween on their schedule, not on your own. Like maybe you want to dress up on, April 14th or something like that. Like, yeah, why does it have to be October 31st? Especially if you live in a cold, wet place. Like it's going to be pouring here in Seattle on Halloween for sure. Yeah. It's going to be 42 degrees and raining.
Yeah, a lot of kids wearing puffy jackets on the outside of their...
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Do you remember that scene in E.T. when E.T. the first time he gets to go out of Elliot's house is on Halloween and they just throw a sheet over him? But they're trick-or-treating in Southern California. So it's this beautiful, it's like sun-drenched, like this beautiful day. Like, it's like celebrating Christmas in Hawaii or something like that. It looked very comfortable, but it was missing the spooky quality. I run toward it for that reason. I like that.
And I will say that Halloween does serve a very important purpose of keeping Christmas like at bay. Because we're big on Christmas in the family. We like Christmas because it means we get to put a bunch of lights on in the house. Dark. I don't like the cold. I don't like the dark. That's what I hate about winter. So November 1st, because I told my wife, I'm like, I'll bring all the holiday decorations up. So when I leave on October 31st, you and the kid can put everything together, get everything lit up. Yeah, and I have, I understand, like, because my wife and I both run towards Christmas specifically for that. And because that's kind of, I like the old Christmas music, and I like the, there's just more of the nostalgia to Christmas. Like, and I enjoy that 2 months more than I enjoy the run up to it. And most of it is I'm clinging to something because I'm fighting off seasonal depression. So,
totally. Yeah.
That's why I can't go with the Halloween, because that's all, it's spooky, it's dark, I don't want that. What I want is
Christmas is the antidote to that. Yeah,
exactly. So that's more what I lean to, specifically for mental health reasons.
November 1st, though. Wow. That is a bold step.
It is.
I've always thought of Thanksgiving as the gateway holiday.
And I get that, and I understand that, but come on, Thanksgiving is not a real holiday. Like, let's be 100% with ourselves. It's not a real holiday. It's not. It's based on all kinds of weird lies about the history of America and how we interacted with Native Americans. We all get together and eat turkey. But no, it's just
I get it.
An unnecessary holiday. However, I will always accept 4 days off. So, and I get 4 days off for Thanksgiving. So I'm not a get rid of it kind of person. I'm just saying I am not constrained by it.
Thanksgiving cracks me up too, because nearly everyone in my family is vegetarian. So I don't really know what the whole turkey. I mean, I understand what a turkey is and I know that it needs to be baked, but I've never actually had any skin in the game, literally or figuratively, about making a turkey. But we still managed to spend like 6 hours preparing a dinner that takes literally 20 minutes to eat. Like, the ratio is so far off there. It's insanity.
You guys got to do a version of Is It Cake, but Is It Tofu?
That's a great idea.
I don't mean like cooking it. I mean shape the tofu like a turkey and see if you can fool a regular person.
Yeah. Oh, that's a great idea.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that might make it a real holiday.
I'm a big fan of tofu. It's real easy to fry up, real easy to do anything with, and it's super cheap. And,
it keeps forever too. Do you get that at Trader Joe's? They've got the super dense tofu, like it's almost like shoe leather thickness. It's amazing.
I get Costco sells extra firm, and it's like 4 pounds of tofu for like $7, I think. So
amazing. Is it still jiggly, or does it have?
Yeah.
So there's a step beyond that, like the high protein tofu, that it's like.
It's
even thicker than scrambled egg. Like it's like a brick. That stuff's amazing.
That's what we get. Yeah.
Oh, it is. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. We I generally like the prep work I do for it is putting it on a paper towel with another towel underneath it, and then putting like a 3 or 4 pound weight on top of it.
Press
to
it.
Squeeze all the juice out of it. So yeah, I get that good firm stuff.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, that stuff's really cool too, because you can if you put like a high sugar marinade or kind of sauce that you're cooking it in, it'll caramelize, so it gets like nice, like chewy, meaty kind of quality to it.
Yeah,
we eat a lot of that
to put
stuff.
A nice little crisp on it. Yeah.
Heck yeah.
So what are you guys doing for Halloween this year?
Okay, so we actually I believe people are listening to this in like the day before Halloween era. So that means Halloween is in the future for everyone, but we actually already celebrated Halloween, because this past weekend we went out to a coastal community where they had a Halloween weekend trick-or-treating on, I think, October 24th or October 25th. So we've already had our first Halloween and are about to have our second Halloween.
All right, nice.
First one was dumping down rain. So it actually worked out okay, because we brought, my daughter is a 6th grader, my son is a 9th grader, and between the two of them, they brought 6 friends. So we had 8 middle and high school age kids in a house with just my wife and me cooking for them. And otherwise, they just did their own thing, skateboarding around this neighborhood and trick-or-treating. And, they each brought home like 4 pounds of candy, just stuff in their pockets. I don't even know if they wore costumes. They're at that age now where they're just kind of street toughs,
Right. You just come and you just got to flex a little bit. It's fine.
Yeah. And when you get like your peanut butter cups, you roll them up in your white sleeved t-shirt, like James Dean in the 1950s. Like, you're like a real dude. So it'll be interesting, like on Halloween proper, what they decide to do. It's supposed to be raining here in Seattle on Friday. So my suspicion is it'll be something kind of similar to that. Like, they're going to venture out just enough to get candy and they're going to bail. I kind of think some of that kid-based magic of Halloween is gone now. I think maybe they're too old for it. So this is much more about just, you can be outside in the dark with friends, kind of unsupervised, doing whatever you want. Our kids are great and they have really nice friends, so I'm not worried about them, causing mischief. But it's just kind of fun, just being out in the street, walking around, just doing whatever.
Go TP a house. Don't flip a car, kids.
Oh man, TPing a house in Seattle is such a drag because invariably it will rain.
Oh,
so you've
immediately.
got paper mache tree for weeks. I learned that lesson the hard way and then got caught and had to clean it up when I was in middle school. So there's no way to clean it. You are completely screwed. So in that way, like we're kind of past it. Like after, 10 hardcore years of my son going out and really giving it his all, dressed as a fireman the first year, like, little kid costumes, getting a little more rugged and interesting. One year he dressed as Marty McFly and I went around with him as Doc Brown, which was awesome. And he was still young enough that I wasn't embarrassing to him. But right around fourth grade, like I became so embarrassing that I'm no longer part of the equation.
Yeah. Our daughter did a Halloween at the Humane Society last week. They had a Humane Society and it was a drop off, so the parents don't get to hang out and see what happens. But mostly, I think it was playing with cats. And I'm not sure. So my in-laws used to live on a street in St. Louis in Webster Groves, and it is like the high trafficked area of the neighborhood for trick-or-treaters. Like we had. Like one year we sat out there because her parents, my wife's parents, didn't really want anything to do with Halloween, but they understood that they were on a street that it was expected of them, because there'd be parties, would be like outside movies going on. Somebody set up a projector and be playing the Great Pumpkin and stuff. Somebody would bring out a cotton candy machine and popcorn machine. Like it was a big to do for quite a while. And we would, we had a counter and we ended up getting one year we got over 400 kids. So
wow.
Yeah. So we always had something to do, and they moved from there, I want to say 3 years ago, maybe at this point. And now they're in an area, like you just don't trick or treat. You don't go like, I'm gonna step outside of my house and go trick or treating, because like you can't expect everybody in the neighborhood to be doing that.
Yeah.
So you have to go somewhere. And now that we no longer have a spot on the street that already has all of this going on, and you can send the kid up and down the street, I don't know what they're going to do. We do have a local street that is like that. I live in a neighborhood that is very nice on one side of the street, and I live on the other side of the street. So on the much nicer side, much closer to the park, there's some, $500,000 houses that people live in. And that's the area that's the big, like they all do Christmas lights, they all do Halloween. So that's the big spot to go to. And I was just like, you can do that, or I don't know, there's always a trunk or treat going on somewhere,
Yeah. And so on your street, there, all those nice houses are on one side, and then there's just a railroad track that runs right down the middle of the street, and then you're on the other side of the tracks over there.
So funny enough, the railroad tracks run right through all the neighborhood, no matter what. But there is just like, it's a little neighborhood. If you know St. Louis, it's Holly Hills. And when you're close to Carondelet Park, the houses that face the park are really nice. And then the further back you get away from the park, and I'm not going to say it's like a bad like neighborhood. It's just not the big houses, It's just regular, normal houses and multi-families and stuff like that. So,
and kids can sniff it out. Like they know. They instantly know where the payoff's going to be, where the candy bars are going to get better. It's going to be more than just dum-dums. There's a king size on this street. I can just tell.
and I'll tell you, the kids in St. Louis got to work for it too. I think you would love St. Louis trick-or-treating, because the trade-off is the kids have to tell a joke. So,
no, I've heard about that. Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, so you get 400 kids, you can get 400 jokes. But
totally.
Let me rephrase that. You're going to get about 100 jokes. You're going to hear a lot of them over and over again.
You're going to hear a lot of chicken cross the road jokes.
A lot of and I love the age groups that come up, because when it's the 6-year-olds, they're going to get the why did the chicken cry, and then they'll be really shy, or they'll do a knock-knock joke. And then you get the kids that are like 11, and they're some of my favorite ones are, what's brown and sticky?
A stick? Yeah, I love it.
Where does a pirate keep his buccaneers?
I give up.
On the side of his bucking head.
Oh, that's a great one.
Yeah. I love that one. I love to hear that one come out. How do you wake up Lady Gaga? You poker face. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, those are great.
Yeah, it's absolutely wild. And it is like, because I know nobody else does this, but if a kid does come up and doesn't tell a joke, I will withhold. Like,
Whoa.
I will, like, I'll give the other kids 3, and like, I mean, if the kid's like shy or whatever, they're trying, I'm not going to be a dick. But if somebody's just like, don't tell jokes, like, all right, guess what?
I don't give out candy.
You get a Tootsie Roll. There you go.
Weak, the ultimate diss.
Exactly.
Yes, I've heard about that. When I was hosting my radio show on Sirius XM, I routinely had joke offs. In fact, we like cut them all up and started to like reuse them at other times. And I think we got to over 1,000 unique jokes that kids had told. And I have such a terrible memory for jokes. I remember like 4 jokes ever. Mm-hmm. So I guess that's probably good. Like you want the guy from Memento being the guy that's opening the door, because every time it's a new joke.
Right. It's always funny.
That's what you want. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't know what Halloween's going to be this year. I know her dance studio is doing. They'll get to dress up. She's got an Eevee costume from Pokemon.
Oh, that's awesome.
We're in a real Pokemon stretch at the moment, though it's hand in hand with Minecraft. I don't know which one's going to win out.
Trunk or Treat is such a cool innovation for like more rural kids, or you know, it maybe just live in like a really, you know, a well populated but very spread out place. You know, great way to lure people into church parking lots too. Yeah. Like, hey, while you're here with the candy, you might want to come inside and hear the good word. Following a trail of Tootsie Rolls into the...
I have a friend who is adamantly against trunk or treats because he believes kids should go and work for their candy. Because he's like, no,
I hear it.
You all come and you're all just there. He's also against. He's like, no, if you're on a bad street and you got to pound the, you got to walk, you got to pound the pavement and pound your candy.
Oh, your friend Ayn Rand. That's awesome. I didn't know you knew her. That's cool.
I've been a fan of the trunk or treats because I don't like walking around in the dark at night, especially because I know like on Halloween how the 20-year-olds are acting, so I don't want to be out during that time. Oh
yeah, behind the wheel especially.
Yeah.
My wife grew up in a pretty rural place, small town in Maine with I think maybe a population of a few thousand, and everyone was really spread out, so there was no place to trick or treat. So Halloween for her was getting in the car with her parents, and they would drive to like houses of people they knew. So a good night of trick-or-treating would be like maybe going to 5 doors and knocking, and then you got to go inside and like, you know, catch up for a few minutes in the living room. That is the weakest. Like, time is ticking. We do not have time for this. I don't want to tell you how school's going. I need candy. So trunk or treat, I mean, I understand, yes, maybe they should work for it, but if the counterpoint is that like you're going to like spend time in living rooms talking to aunts and uncles, forget it. I'm totally there for that.
Yeah, I mean, the payoff better be good. It better not just be reaching into the little candy jar of Werther's Originals or something.
Oh,
you know, you better hit me with a full-size Twix or something here.
Yeah, granny candies that are all stuck together. Trunk or treat's cool too because everyone has the same obstruction. They've got a trunk and then they can do whatever they want with it. So, you know, theoretically, there's like an arms race of creativity there. That could be really cool.
Exactly. And, you know, I do put up lights and we do have some Christmas decorations, but I don't really do Halloween decorations. But I feel like it could, you know, it's an investment. You gotta put a lot of money and effort into it, and then you gotta store it. I don't have any place for that stuff. So I like the idea of a trunk or treat and just being like, I can just get like some paper, like cut out spiders or something, or some, you know, streamer paper or whatever. And look, there it is. It's decorated. You know, a poster board with a sign. You know, it makes it a lot easier for people like me who are just like, look, I want to meet you here in spirit, but like, I don't want to drop, you know, $600 at Lowe's on Halloween decorations.
Oh,
right
totally.
now.
Yeah.
You know.
Oh, there's so many ways you could go with it. Like while you were saying that, I was remembering that scene from Back to the Future where Marty McFly gets locked in the trunk of the whatever the band is called, and they end up having to like cut him out of the trunk with like a nail file, but they open the doors and just pot smoke just emanates from outside. And Biff's like, I don't want no trouble from no reefer addicts. Flew right over my 8-year-old head, of course, when I saw that movie. But you could reenact that. You could just like you could do little theater pieces there. That would be amazing.
Just me and my 3 friends smoking weed inside of the classic car. That scene is so great too because they're all suicide doors, so it just looks especially badass because the doors open backwards.
Yeah, it opens up. There's Clarence. Wait, what's his? Is it Clarence? Barry? No, Marvin Barry.
Marvin Barry. Yeah.
Marvin Barry. That's right. It's your cousin, Marvin Barry. Wait for people to get it.
So Jack, what kind of traditions do you guys partake in for Halloween?
Yeah. So again, that's kind of changing too. Like we definitely had a pretty solid curated playlist that we'd be rocking all through October. Just around the house. And I remembered it for the first time, like literally 2 days ago. So, 4 days before Halloween, I remember that we even had this playlist, but that was a good one. Kids added to it, spooky, scary skeletons and the like. Definitely influenced by my job on kids radio. We had a pretty deep one.
Yeah, I should do that because I do have that Casper Baby Pants song get stuck in the spooky, eerie.
Oh yeah, totally.
Yeah, I get that one. That's one of my favorite Halloween ones. We've done, we usually try to do movies, but we just haven't gotten around to it. And also, like, the problem is that we have this child who is 10 years old and full of her own opinions. And so when we want to watch a movie like Beetlejuice, or we want to watch Hocus Pocus or something, movies that are not really that scary, but of course there is tension and there's, danger and everything. And I would argue, like, look, Beetlejuice scared me for a good 30 years of my life. Like, I watched it once when I was 5 and I did not watch it again until I was like 38.
Wow.
Because, that movie, if you're a 5-year-old, that movie is real messed up.
Oh yeah, it would probably it would leave its mark on you for sure. I was a little older when that movie came out, so I'd never had to have my childhood ruined by those when they stretch their faces out into like the big nose and the eyes coming out of the mouth. Yeah, as a 5-year-old, that would really mess you up, I think.
I had that. I also had that problem with Little Shop of Horrors that I did not watch that again until I was much older because it scared a giant. My father was a gardener, and you're showing me this movie about a plant that eats people, and is very cool and hip about it.
We just rewatched that movie with our kids maybe a year ago. Steve Martin as the dentist is hysterical. It's such a tour de force. That might be my favorite thing that he's ever been in. It's so great.
Yeah.
Most frightening person, the dentist with like a motorcycle, DGAF, and a huge tray full of rusty tools. Get out of here. Yeah, we watched a lot of Beetlejuice growing up.
Can you imagine why that one might have scarred my brain a little bit?
Totally. You haven't been to a dentist this century. We watched a lot of Beetlejuice growing up. The new Beetlejuice movie that came out a year or two ago, that was kind of right at the tail end of both kids being still interested in kind of spooky Halloween-y stuff. So I think that movie came out, was that just last year? I think so. I haven't gotten around to it. It came out in the summer, but then that meant it was on streaming in time for Halloween. So we watched it a couple of times. Yeah, I'm trying to think of other movies that have been consistent year after year. I don't know if there were any traditional ones. Beetlejuice. Oh no, I was thinking Nightmare Before Christmas, but of course that's a Christmas movie. Although maybe not. Jack Skellington is.
It is. It's the spooky one. This is October 1st is the time when you can start watching that one.
That's the rule. Wow, you've got it all mapped out.
It goes. The one movie that spans the entire 3 months.
Wow. Okay, so Christmas lights and movies and music get to come out November 1st, but you got a little gateway media on October 1st. You can dip your toe into Christmas.
Well, I give Nightmare Before Christmas because nothing else has ever come. Like, there's never been anything I want to say that good.
Yeah.
That's done that. That's kind of done both Halloween and Christmas and managed to be both movies. So like I give it to Tim Burton on that one. Just you watch that one whenever you want. I do these things, like, I understand that there are rules out there, and I try to follow those rules without getting other people upset. I don't want to be the guy who's just like, check out my Christmas lights up, and somebody's like, it's October 14th, and I say, yeah, but it's like 59 degrees, so this is winter for me now.
Yeah.
And now I need lights. I need lights. I wake up and it's dark now. Ugh, gross. I hate it. It's disgusting.
Yeah. Oh, man. Dude.
You got to deal with that.
Yeah, it's pretty bleak already here in Seattle. I think 2 days ago, we just had our last sunset at 6 p.m. or later. So, and
you guys do time change too, don't you?
Yes.
Yep.
So that's this Sunday, right after spooky season ends. And it's dark in the morning when kids are leaving for the train. So as of Sunday, it's going to be light again in the morning, but the sun's going to start setting at like 4:45. Yeah. And by the time you
got to get some Christmas lights up and leave them there until March. You'll feel so much better.
It's a good point. Yeah. I was thinking about it earlier. I actually really do like all four seasons, which as a kid I didn't. As a kid, I definitely had favorites. And growing up in Indiana, summer was just impossible. It was so humid. And, yeah. So I understand I'm coming from a privileged coastal kind of perspective, but like 80s in the summer in Seattle are totally tolerable. Fall is definitely its own season here, and like it's beautiful outside right now. The colors are amazing, and the sun's so much lower on the horizon, so you get hit by glaring sun at weird times, and it just makes everything more stark. Winter here is pretty brutal. Like it's just soggy and gray. We don't really get snow very often, which is great if you're in charge of shoveling it. But I don't know, when it does snow, it feels pretty magical, and it's a hilly town, so it just shuts down and everyone gets time off. So kids are super stoked about that.
Oh, nice.
And then spring really, it things come back here. So I don't know. I'm a skier in the winter too. So that's something to look forward to.
Yeah, I feel like Seattle is probably a place that, I've got a couple friends that live in Seattle, and it just sounds like more my speed, because I feel like, here's the thing. So last winter, we had 2 blizzards and an ice storm in between them, and they all happened within like 10 days of each other.
Oh my God.
So me, a person who has to walk his dog 3 times a day, walking a neighborhood where people, like maybe about 30-40% of them actually shovel or salt or anything like that, the sidewalks that are in front of their houses, that made it incredibly treacherous for
I
me
bet.
the entire time, because it's just all getting compacted down, and then it would get up to like 34 degrees and then back down to 20, so it would melt and freeze and melt and freeze. Just absolute nightmare. And then the summers are just god awful at times. Like it's, you hate to say it's not the heat, it's the humidity, but like you got this. I live at a confluence. I've got a Missouri River meeting a Mississippi River meeting the Merrimack River. Whenever it gets above 90 degrees and slightly sunny, there's just moisture in the air constantly. And
it's intense. Yeah.
Yeah, it's god awful here. So I feel like I could deal with soggy and cold and dreary, because that's a mood that I can get behind. That's a feeling that doesn't make me depressed. It's the cold and the snow and the knowing I have to go out into it and deal with it.
Yeah, the darkness this far north is definitely an issue. Like I think when people have seasonal affectiveness disorder in Seattle, it's fully a function of like it's light for 7 hours at the darkest parts of the year. And when it is light, it's just so dim outside, it's like permanent Twin Peaks feeling. But I love that. Like, I think it's really, I definitely am, I sleep way more in the winter time than I do in the summer. I definitely notice like my overall cadence just slowing down. I have less energy generally, so I know I'm affected by it. But, if you set your world up correctly and your furnace gets warm enough and you got a fire to be near and books, like it's actually, what do the Swedish call it? Is it
Higu culture?
Yeah, higu. Is that how you pronounce that word?
That's how my wife says it every time she's like, I'm not getting out of bed until 11 a.m. It's higu culture, and look, I get it.
Yeah, totally.
It's warm. Do we homeschool in the bed? Why not? Like I see all the kids waiting for the bus at 6 a.m. outside. I'm like, that fucking sucks. I'd hate to do that. And you guys got to do this all the time. Ugh.
Oh, totally.
Disgusting.
Yeah. So I'm all about that. Of course, my kids having to be up and out of the house at 7:20 in the morning means I have no prayer of that ever happening.
No.
And I've already had too much coffee at that point to like go back and take a nap. I think I'd probably just feel guilty too, knowing that my wife's at work and both kids are at school and I'm like at home literally asleep. I got to hold myself to a higher standard, I think.
Sometimes you gotta put the work pants on. You got to take off your sleep pants and put your work pants on. And that's how I do. Like I always wake up and I have to take the dog for a walk first thing, so I always have to put pants on. And that's the thing that is my delineation between I'm no longer sleeping, because I can't go backwards, unless I had a really bad night of sleep, sure, but there's no going backwards. There's no I'm going to take my jeans off and crawl back into bed. No, I've already noticed that the dishwasher needs to be unloaded. I got to do this, got to do that. So
and
then the kid wakes up and she wants breakfast. So you're just kind of hosed at that point.
Absolutely. Yeah. Just enjoy that.
Right.
Higgy?
Yeah, the Higi coaster. We have, I'll tell you, two things. We got 2 fireplaces that are space heaters, like fireplace space heater things.
Yeah.
We got one in the bedroom and one in the living room. We got a really tiny house. So luckily we don't have to run the furnace too much during the winter because we can run those 2 things. But those are fantastic additions. And I'll tell you something else that's really great that we invested in. Back when Texas had all of their power outages, we read somebody say like that what they did is they had a tent, like a camping tent, and they put it on their bed. So they set it up and they put it on the bed and they all got into the tent. So they're cozy and comfy, but also the tent, kept a lot of the heat in for them. So, what we did, you can actually buy tents that fit over a bed.
Oh, yeah.
And so we have those. And I know before I leave, I'm cooking a bunch of food that I'm going to put in the freezer for them or in the fridge for them, which is not like my wife can't, fend for herself. She's in there cooking zucchini muffins right now. But, I'm going to be gone for a week. So I try to make things as easy as I can for them.
Oh, good for you.
So putting that, and I'm going to put the bed tent up for them too, so that they can all climb in. They can be in and nice and cozy while I'm in Jackson, Tennessee.
Yeah, you can take all that food that you prepped and blend it up into like a nice
little slurry.
Yeah, and just put it like in a giant hamster feeder thing with the ball and put it there inside the tent, and they may never have to leave.
I just take all of my clothes. We have underslung drawers on the bed, so I'll take all my clothes out of it and I'll just fill it with snacks and peanut butter sandwiches and let the dog come in and clean up every once in a while.
Perfect. Yeah, there you go. So one other Halloween thing that I actually feel kind of guilty about this, but this is fully a function of having to mobilize kids for Halloween. My wife and I used to go pretty elaborate with Halloween costumes. We had some friends whose anniversary was on Halloween. We didn't go to their wedding. We didn't know them yet at that point. But every year they threw this amazing anniversary party, which was like people went all out with Halloween costumes. We went the first year and didn't know what we were getting into. And we just kind of half-assed it. And we were truly blown away. There was someone who showed up. I don't know if you remember the original movie Tron. Mm-hmm. There's this big M-shaped flying thing. I think it was called the Recognizer. Huge. Someone came dressed as that. They had built it out of foam core, it lit up. It was they had to kind of go sideways through doors to get through. It was unbelievable. So we're like, all right, game on. We definitely have to compete at this. And then for the next several years, we went all out. One year we went as Timothy Treadwell and the Black Bear from Grizzly Man. It was so good.
Who was who? Wait a minute. Who was who here? Who was killing who? Okay.
I was Timothy Treadwell and she was the bear.
I think that's the only way you can do that politically correctly.
I think you're right. Yeah. And I had a little, that old fashioned kind of tape recorder, with the flip top thing this was probably 15 years ago. So I held it up to our TV and recorded all of Werner Herzog's narrations. There's a subtle poetry when he leaves the frame, and just turn that on. And we did these scenes where I'd hit play and the bear would come in just silently and maul me on people's on their kitchen counter. It was unbelievable. So one year I was a primate wearing a spacesuit, and we built this enormous foam core monolith from 2001 Space Odyssey. Okay. So big that she couldn't get through doors. And when she stood in the middle of a group of people talking, she could block out half the conversation just by turning a little. It was great. But ever since kids have been on the scene, we've been so focused on helping them get their Halloween costumes together. We haven't done anything. We haven't put any effort toward it at all. And I feel guilty about it. I feel like we've really missed some thwarted some creative energy along the way, or our kids have sucked it out of us. So I'm not looking forward to kids being out of the house, but in 7 years, I'm really desperately hoping that we can bring that back because it's so fun.
I feel like, once the oldest one hits 15 or 16, you can probably start bringing it back. That feels like kind of independence where it's all right, look, you are 15 years old. You can do your Halloween costume, whatever you want.
Yeah.
You can figure it out. Me and mom are going to go and figure something else out. You
Yeah,
just wanna
totally.
run around with the Jason mask and a pillowcase. That's fine. I don't care. We're
or not, or like go over to a friend's house, like figure something out. Yeah, once we get to that point, like when our son's at college and our daughter is like 15, probably we'll be free to take off our seatbelt and walk around the cabin again. But we've been in an upright and locked position for the last 14 years at this point.
Do those friends still have that big party?
They don't, but I think we could probably convince them to put it back on again. We like co-produced it with them for a few years. Like, a couple of years we rented a venue and like made it a big thing.
Oh, okay.
So I think they kind of ran out of steam because they just did it so many years in a row.
Did they also have kids?
No. But I think you just put the same party on for so many years and it's like, we need to move on. We need to find something new.
We got to get a different personality now.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's a lot of work. They would like brew their own beer for it. Like they would have 100 people in their house. Like it's a lot.
That's a bit much. I know the young couple, as my wife and I refer to them. There's a house that's across the street from us that when we were looking for houses, we looked at that one and passed on it, and bought the one that we're in now. So when they moved in, like 6 months after we did, I was like, oh yeah, I talked to them, and when they moved in, they both, and currently I think they're both in their 30s now, probably young 30s, but they were both like in their 20s when they moved in. And we just refer to them as the young couple because they are a young couple. The guy has a fantastic curly hair mullet and has had it since the day he moved in. Yeah, 100%. And they always have parties. And my wife and I always talk about how like proud we are of them. Like these people we don't know, but like we see them Ubering to places and coming, like on New Year's, they Ubered home. Right. It's like, you're not drunk driving home like we did. Oh, you guys are so smart.
So responsible.
If only we were like that. I mean, we never got caught, but it probably would have been smarter to not do that. So they have, since Halloween's on a Friday, they have some Halloween decorations up, and I'm sure they're going to have a big party. But, just kind of like New Year's, the same thing. Like, I don't stay up till midnight on New Year's because I want to ring in the new year. It's just, I know that it's going to get real loud and wake me up, so I might as well stay up until then. Totally. And Halloween is the same. Like, I'm still going to be in bed reading a book at 10 o'clock, man. There's nothing there for me. And, I, of course, would celebrate Halloween when I was younger because any excuse to, get drunk and hang out with women wearing very little clothes, I'm down for at the age of 20. Since I no longer, strive for that, either one of those things, Halloween has kind of lost its luster for me.
Well, yeah. And are you willing to mortgage your next 2 days in recovery from those 3 or 4 hours of, theoretical fun that night?
Exactly. Yeah. Like I want to spend Halloween like I spend most of my nights, and that's slightly stoned in bed reading a book.
Yeah,
like
there it is. Yeah, totally. So really every day is Halloween for you.
When I don't have a whole lot of it's the argument of, happiness versus contentedness. And my contentedness level is very easy to reach. I just want to be real comfortable, slightly stoned, reading my book.
Yeah.
And a cup of cold water, just regular water with ice in it. That's all I need. That's my bedtime tuck in right there.
And this paddleball game and this thermos, and that's all I need.
That's all I need. This ashtray.
Yeah, I think when you're younger, for sure, like 20s especially, you're always chasing after like those big highs. Mm-hmm. I don't necessarily mean that literally, but maybe literally.
Right. Yeah. You're looking to party. You want to party. You're looking
payoffs.
For things happening, for people to be doing things. And I know there are plenty of people in their 40s who are still looking for that. I am not one of them.
Yeah. I mean, and part of it is the experience itself, but part of it is the story too. Like narratively, it's intoxicating to walk out of an event with a story that you got to share with people, or even if you don't tell anyone what happened, like the self-referential knowledge that gives you about you, like I'm still capable of doing this, or I'm so great that I was able to X, Y, and Z. I haven't done that forever, or like I'm always getting in situations like this. And I do think as you get older, either you run out of people people who care or that you want to tell, or like you just, you know yourself well enough that like you don't need to like push the boundaries of who you are as a person anymore. Like you're a known quantity in that way.
Yeah, and I've got plenty of stories already. Like I was in the army for 20 years. You're a touring musician. Like I'm sure that you and I got stories, and the idea of just like there are still definitely experiences I want to experience out there. It's just I think there's a negative return here at this point when it comes to partying. Like I enjoy, like if somebody invites me, hey, we're having a party, it's my friends, I want to go hang out with them 100%. But the idea of I want to go to a bar, I want to go to a club, I want to go out and do these things, there's nothing there for me. I'm going to be annoyed first off. Like a beer is going to cost me $8 and that's going to piss me off for the rest of the night.
Totally.
Like,
yeah.
One beer is going to cost, like one beer with tip, and it's like $10 for a local brew beer. Then I'm like, I could have bought a 6-pack of this and sat at home and played Switch. And that's just going to be in the back of my head for the rest of the day. And I'm never going to enjoy myself. So that's the whole party aspect of it, is just because I'm a tightwad, because I'm broke, but also because, like I said, what am I going to experience out there? What's going to happen? People are going to dance. People are going to drink. They're going to have fun. It's great. It's great for you kids. I want that for you. I'm 42. There's nothing here that I'm going to be like, you won't believe what happened last night. Unless it's going to my wife and like, you won't believe what these dumb motherfuckers did last night.
Yeah. I mean, that's so true. Like having already like pushed the limits on levels like 1 through 5 of, borderline activities and or maybe straight illegal things, transgressions against other people. The only way to get on that radar is to somehow exceed those things. So like the only kind of story you're going to get now that has any relevance to those other ones is one that lands you in jail, or like in a major car accident, like maybe something got amputated. You ended up in the hospital. Like,
right. And that's not a story that you're excited to tell anybody about.
No.
Like, let me tell you about how I lost my leg in the coolest way possible.
Yeah, we got shot at. It was amazing. Come on. I mean, honestly, the thing that I brag most about, 2 things. I may have told you this before. One of my favorite things is, I work from home, so I'm making myself lunch every day. If I can make myself a lunch that empties up multiple Tupperwares in the fridge, that is like winning the lottery for me. I love it so much. Like, there was a time not too long ago, I made myself some street tacos and finished 7 discrete Tupperwares and put them all in the dishwasher. It was amazing. It was
more satisfying than the taco.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. So I love that. I just love the feeling of finishing things in general, but like that was such a payoff. The other thing that I love doing is using up gift cards, because they're just all over the house, like random ones. So there's a bookstore really close to us, walking distance, and I've slowly been chipping away at them. And the other day I managed to kill 2 gift cards in a single transaction.
Nice.
Amazing, because my wallet's just that much thinner. Like, it's so
Keep
great.
Swiping, Deborah. I got more.
Yeah, totally. Sure, I'll get the unabridged Chomsky. Sure, will it get rid of this card? Absolutely.
I guess we are emptying the refrigerator, and that has been really nice, because we've long had this problem of buying a bunch of food and then eating out, and we're trying to really stop doing that.
Yeah.
I do have one meal downstairs that I'm prepared. I love that, like, I do probably 80%, 90% of the cooking in the house, just because I don't know, I just do. It's nothing to do with my wife's cooking. She cooks fine. I will usually go a step further than her. Like, she will have cereal, but I will make a quesadilla. Not that making a quesadilla is like some sort of Emeril Lagasse, shit that I'm doing here.
Yeah.
It's a cheese quesadilla that I make for a 10-year-old. But I love my various bachelor chows, and I have one downstairs that I'm ready for. That is, I made rice. I made like kind of a slinger. I don't know. You probably know what a slinger is.
I don't know.
St. Louis, the St. Louis slinger, there's variations on it, but it is basically like a meat patty, like a burger patty, and then it's covered with, you can either do hash browns or you can do rice, and then you put a fried egg and chili on top of it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's the hangover cure. It's just all fiber and protein. It's fantastic. So I have half a can of chili and rice and an egg downstairs. I haven't fried the egg yet, but they're all waiting for me to combine them all together together because my Tupperware thing is like empty. I have no empty Tupperware. So like I'm getting that like, okay, what's down here? What have we forgotten about? What do I need to get out of here? So that's one of them. My chili, my St. Louis slinger that I'm very excited to eat.
That's awesome.
My bachelor chow, it's just put food into a bowl and swirl it around a bit and then dump it inside of me. And I'm good.
Yeah. It's all going to come out the same in the end.
Exactly. Like as long as you're putting something good in there, as long as you throw a couple vegetables in there too, rice, chili, beans, all that stuff's good for you. Like maybe the salt content's not great, but whatever. Drink more water. You're fine.
Yeah, totally. Oh, that's so great. Our fridge is in pretty good condition right now, but our freezer is just a nightmare.
Yeah.
It's just packed so unbelievably tight. So, and yeah, I don't really have a solution to this problem because anytime that I carve something out of there and it's like going in with the ice pick and like extricating like a block of something that is like fused with the freezer, inevitably it'll just get filled immediately with something else.
With something else. I
don't know how we're getting to the bottom.
What are you jamming in there?
It's Costco, man. Costco's what does it.
I feel it. I get it.
You get, like 2 loaves of Oro wheat bread. It's like for less than the price of one at a grocery store. And they're enormous loaves and there's no way they're going to keep. And so you can't leave them out and I can't sabotage that much fridge space. So it'll take like a whole spot in the freezer. And then next thing I know, it's been 6 months and that loaf is still there, now coated in freezer burn. So yeah.
We have a fridge and a freezer. We found a refrigerator that has no freezer part and we found a freezer that has drawers in it, and it's a standing freezer.
Oh, so wow. Yeah.
We have been able to really expand our Costco shopping because we're big fans of that too. Also, pork steaks, big in St. Louis. It's just like it's just pork shoulder, and they come in flat 1-inch thick cuts. But every once in a while, those go on sale for like $1.50 a pound, and I'll go to the grocery store and I'll buy like $30 worth of it and just vacuum seal and freeze and vacuum seal and freeze. I pulled a couple out for defrosting, so I'm going to throw those on the grill tonight.
Yeah, stockpiling.
Exactly. Gotta get that meat in there.
I just know our tendency, and this is something that I learned from being in a band. One of my fellow band members has like a real organization problem, and I noticed that every time that we packed up, that there would be like a new bin that he introduced into our situation. And I started to realize that the bins were holding other bins, or there were like 3 like quarter filled bins. And it hit me to this premise of like the second that you expand your storage space, it's just going to start getting filled up and the storage space itself becomes something that you have to deal with. So I'm very intentional about like carving out just enough space for things and never allowing it to metastasize. Like you got to keep yourself honest. Like make sure it all fits one time and then never consider getting more shelves or a larger freezer or anything like that. Of course, you find yourself at capacity a lot, but I think it's the only way to keep yourself honest because when my dad died 10 years ago, he did not have this system. And let's just say there was a lot of stuff. Like he didn't need that stuff. Like you got to get into a habit where you're, tossing things or consuming them as you go rather than, waiting for 40 years for it to pile up. It's a real problem. We're
actively trying to do that in our basement and getting rid of just selling stuff that we've accumulated. Like we bought, we used to have a much larger house. So we bought things for that house. And also when you have a large house, people are like, you have a large house. Would you like these things?
Oh, yeah, sure. I got space. Yeah, totally. That'll come in handy.
You got a big table will go right here. And then you buy a much smaller house and you still have all this big nonsense. So now we're cleaning out the basement because we have this big wide open basement. It's not finished, but it's, the size of the house and it's open.
Yeah.
It could be much more usable and comfortable if it wasn't so full of junk. So trying to rotate things out, mostly through Facebook Marketplace. Like if somebody will give me, $10 or something, it's a lot easier than dropping it off at Savers or Goodwill.
Yeah. Have you ever gotten burned on Facebook Marketplace? My son was hoping to buy like a snare stand, and something about Facebook Marketplace kind of skeeves me out in a way that for some reason Craigslist doesn't. Are they like pretty much interchangeable?
I've never, so people have tried to scam me, but like they're pretty obvious scammers. Like they're not, those are like the Venmo or the PayPal scammers. That's whatever. I have never had a problem with like face-to-face stuff. We had somebody come and buy something yesterday. I'm always comfortable just saying like, yeah, you can swing by my house and pick up whatever. For the most part though, like when you're like, if somebody starts to message you, you can open up their profile and see if they're like a regular person.
Oh, that's a good point. Usually. And you can't do that on Craigslist. So that's
exactly.
Yeah, that's
like,
a nice
just
extra
a
feature.
rando emailing you. So I'd rather like, and you can usually tell. Like I have somebody who, like, I've got this really nice flatware set, this atomic age flatware set that I put up for like $400, and somebody wants to buy it. And so that's one that I'm a little bit more hesitant about. But I looked at they're a real estate agent. They post constantly about buying and selling houses and with their mom, and their mom's a real estate agent. So I'm like, all right, this person seems like an actual person, and I can kind of understand maybe they would, they have money that they want to drop on something like this.
Wait,
Fine.
What is a flatware set? What is that?
Like tableware, knives, forks, spoons, stuff
okay,
like that.
like cutlery.
Yeah.
Atomic age?
Yeah, so it's Starite. It is and it's from like the 1950s.
Oh wow!
It was made in Japan, and it still has like this document that says it's made in Japan, that it's fully insured, national. It's the National Silver Company, but it's not actually made out of silver. But everything that, like, all the searching that I've done, like finding a full unused 69-piece 8-person dinner serving set, easily like $500-$600.
Wow.
I've seen them going for.
Yeah.
I put it up for $400 because I got it for $40. I found it at Savers for $40, and my wife was just like, I don't know when we're gonna sell it, but you better buy it. And that was like a year and a half ago. So hopefully Wednesday, thumbs up. We'll
incredible! That's awesome.
That.
We have I don't even know what they are. We've got some kind of flatware, as you call it. I've always called it cutlery.
Well, when you're spending $400 on it, it's flatware.
It's flatware.
When you're buying it from Target, it's cutlery. Yeah.
Okay. Fair enough. Well, these ones are not Target. I don't know where my wife got this stuff. It was very expensive, and it's like out of print. I mean, it's like, it's insane.
You could probably sell it if you ever need $400, maybe.
Yeah. Well, so we went the other way. We're like, we're missing we don't have enough forks or whatever. And we were looking at other things, like went to Crate and Barrel, like for something equivalent to it. And like a place setting was $50. So to get, we're talking, if we got 12 place settings, we're talking about dropping $600 on knives and forks. So I'm in the process, like probably today or tomorrow, I'm getting an eBay shipment of, 4 play settings of the same stuff that we had for, like $80. So yeah. That's a good way to do it.
They got it real cheap at IKEA, I'll tell you that.
We should have looked at that. Solution that we have for getting rid of stuff is I just think of Goodwill as like my auxiliary storage unit. So we donate anything that we don't need anymore. And I just assume that if I need it again, I'll just buy it back at some point years from now. And I never buy any of that stuff back because I never needed it again. So it works out really well. Occasionally be like, I used to have one of those and I donated it, and I'll get that thing back. It's a bit of a pain, but for like 100 other things that we didn't have to keep anymore, it was totally worth it. It's a great solution.
All right, Jack. Well, I appreciate you coming on, talking Halloween with me. Always a joy to have you bring your experiences and your weird grizzly man costumes that probably that, like, if it was a different time, that would have gotten you canceled, but now it's funny, so it's okay.
Tim Treadwell certainly got canceled.
Real simple solution, man. No, go fuck with bears. Real
seriously, that's a great solution to your problem.
Everybody, thank you so much, and we'll talk to you next week.
Toodaloo.